Hello guys, and welcome to our episode. We're going to do this episode as a question and answer because we've had so many people asking us questions about a lot of things. So we thought we'd just do a quick episode on questions and answers. So I've got a list of some questions that we've been asked, and we'll just go through them, and hopefully it answers a lot of your questions. I'm not sure if this rain, we've got a little bit of rain here in Howick, and it's falling on our corrugated roof, so I'm not sure whether whether you'll be able to hear us properly, but hopefully you can. All right, so question number one here that came up quite often is probably the most is, how do we afford this lifestyle and how do we get to travel so much? So just to answer that briefly is Donna and I both have worked pretty hard in our lives from when we were young adults, and
we had kids young, so we couldn't really travel much.
Yeah, we had kids young, so we didn't get to travel much, but we always liked the idea of travel. So when we could, when the business sort of allowed us to, we managed to get away quite a lot more as the years went on and on. Now we've reached a stage where I've turned 60, and Donna's coming up to that hurdle pretty soon. So what we've done is we've handed the business over to my son and his wife, and they're running the business and they own the business now, and we basically get the rent from the property, and they're paying us for the business. So that's basically how we do it. We are on a budget, so we do have to watch ourselves now as pensioners, but that's basically how we do it. So we manage to get away and travel as much as we can in the truck. So that basically, hopefully that answers that question. Right. Question number two is okay, this one, a lot of our followers have been following us from when we had our Land Rover, our Defender. So this question is, how do you find traveling in the truck compared to traveling in your Land Rover? So maybe
there probably isn't much comparison. I mean, the Land Rover was very basic, and even though we loved it, but there it was rooftop tent living.
Yeah.
And then from there, for me, what's the word I'm looking for? The restriction was the weather.
Yeah.
I mean, because we don't really need an excuse to braai, so weather permitting, we will braai if we can. But if it's raining or we arrive at a campsite too late and we don't have the lighting and everything, then it's very difficult. And with the Land Rover, some nights we actually, when we arrive, and it rains, we're either sitting in the cab or you're in your rooftop tent, and that's it, and you're eating chips, crisps and rolls or whatever if you've got. So the cooking there is very different, because the truck, the weather doesn't affect us at all. We can cook outside if we want, we can cook inside if we need to, and it's lovely.
Yeah. The nice thing about the Land Rover, the Defender, is, I mean, we could just go anywhere. Even though we don't find that the truck really restricts us to where we go. A lot of people have actually asked that question as well. So I think the truck just affords us more luxury, and at our stage in lives, it's exactly what we want. We didn't mind climbing up the rooftop tent. I mean, we love the rooftop tent, and the smells and sounds we get in a rooftop tent. We don't get that as much now in the truck. So so that's basically the difference between the two. At our stage in life, we just find that the luxury of the truck is what we want.
And the bed, I mean, the sleeping arrangements, and
the ablutions and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and especially for me, the ablutions, like there's a toilet on board in the truck, there's a shower, so none of that's really, is an issue now compared to worrying about bush life when you were in the Land Rover.
All right. So then question number three. This one comes up quite a lot as well. Did you design and build the truck yourselves, or did you import it? Most people seem to think that you can't get trucks like this in South Africa, and most of the people ask us if we imported it. And the answer is no, we had it built. We bought the NPS Isuzu 4x4 truck, and we had it built for us to our design, custom built for us by AC Motorhomes in Cape Town, who did a fantastic job of it. They really did, and basically we got everything we wanted. Donna designed the entire inside to her liking, and you got everything you want. Hey, I mean, we look at it now and we think, like, what would we change? And quite honestly, we would change nothing. So yeah, the short answer to that is we designed and built the truck ourselves in South Africa. All right. Then the next question here was the economy of the truck. A lot of people want to know like how heavy it is on fuel, and it is heavy on fuel. It's heavy on diesel. We get normal driving between 5 and 6 kilometers per liter. So you know, a lot of people say, "Wow, that's heavy," and yeah, it is heavy, especially with diesel prices the way they are now. But I think everyone's feeling the pinch. You know, I've got friends, little Buffalo friends of ours who drive a Land Cruiser. You know, they're also getting similar consumption, 6 to 8 liters kilometers per liter. The guys that are towing, I mean, if you're towing with a vehicle now, you know, you're probably also looking at maybe getting 6 to 8 k's to a liter. So I think it's all relative, bearing in mind we're carrying a hell of a load. We're carrying between 6 and 7 tons, our whole house. So yeah, that it's heavy, but we have to budget, and we try and minimize the distance that we travel, although we don't we don't get that right much.
We try to.
Yeah. The next question is, have you considered towing a smaller car behind the truck? We have, and you know, a lot of people do it, and good for them if they find that works for them. For us, it's not really an option. We don't find the truck restrictive when we drive. We drive to shopping centres. You can't go under the boom. You go around the back, and you know, you go in the cargo, the delivery section. We don't find it restrictive. When we are in the parks, we find that if we had a smaller car and we were doing it, it takes away the object of the truck, really, because we'll go and sit at a waterhole at a sighting for all day, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. And you've seen in some of the previous videos, I'll go and have a nap. We'll sit and read. We'll make lunch. We make coffee. You know, so that's the nice thing about the truck. Having a smaller car and then going out for game drives and things, or driving around, it wouldn't really suit us.
And I think also just the whole thing to pack up and go is really quick for us, you know. Like inside, everything's got a place. So, you know, you just get into the habit as you're doing stuff that everything goes back where it belongs. So if we're leaving early for an early morning drive the next morning, we've already got everything prepped the night before, and we really literally get up, get dressed, and we're gone. You know, and it's just our ground sheets and chairs that we can leave.
Yeah, that's also another question that comes up, and I think it's in here somewhere. But you know, people say, like, you know, what is your setup time of your camp, and knocking down camp every day to go either game viewing if you're in the park or to go anywhere, and that is just like not a mission at all. It's so easy. We literally have our chairs out and the awning out if we want to, and that is it. It literally is a 5-minute setup and a 5-minute pack up. So that is nothing. That's not even it's not even an issue to us at all. Yeah. Do we braai every night? Yeah, I wish. Yeah. In the park, like you know, if the weather's good and that, I love to braai. Donna enjoys the braai.
Yeah,
we don't braai. Nice. Yeah, we don't have to braai meat every single night. I mean, sometimes we'll do a stew. Sometimes we'll just do a bread. But yeah, we try and braai mostly.
Well, we light a fire.
We light a fire. We are good South Africans. We light a fire. All South Africans light a fire.
Yeah.
Who drives the most? Yeah, I enjoy driving, so it's not an issue for me. I love driving. And Donna, you do enjoy driving, but
no, I don't love it. So now and again, if he needs to have a break, I'll drive for you, and I don't mind it. But yeah, I'd much rather not drive if I had the option. So, I mean, I can drive the truck if I need to, when I need to. But yeah, most of the time, we are just more comfortable you doing it, really.
Yeah, I just enjoy driving. I always have, and yeah, I enjoy it. So yeah, so I do most of the driving, I suppose.
So he drives, I open the gates.
Don't even start that issue. Oh my word. Yeah, people slating me for not... What kind of a man am I that I allow my wife to get out and open gates and
Which
things?
was a surprise for me, because I can't believe that a woman's going to sit there in the passenger seats and allow her husband to drive up to the gate, get out, open the gate, get back in, drive through, get out. It's just ridiculous. I mean, it's not a big issue, and I can promise you Kev does a lot of other jobs that I will have nothing to do with, so I'm very happy opening the gates. Thanks.
I clean the toilet.
We can keep it just like that.
Yeah, I clean the cassette toilet.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'll open gates, you can do the toilet.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's so I drive the most. Getting to places in the truck, like how accessible is it getting to places? A lot of people have said to us, the first thing they say is, oh, nice rig, nice truck, but don't you find it restrictive where you can go? And to be honest, we don't. Look, you've got to plan. When I say plan, you've got to think about things. People told us we wouldn't get to Lua Plains in Zambia. We got there, no issue. People told us we wouldn't get to Gona Resort in Zimbabwe. No problem, we got there. Weren't restricted at all.
Well,
yeah.
Restricted as in sometimes, like the trees or the bushes, which if need be, if it really gets bad, we've got then we can just cut bush or...
Yeah.
Luckily with the truck, actually, even in Gona Resort, we actually drove around into the bush, you know, to get around the big trees. But I think also it's got easier the more experience we've had with the truck. Eh?
Yeah.
I mean, initially it's stressful because you've got to be aware of the height and the width and the length, and the turning is a mission because the back swings out.
Yeah, saying that, I mean, the truck's got a very good turning circle, probably better than the Land Rover, because you're sitting on that front axle. So your turning circle is very good. But yeah, you've got to watch the length and the height. But, you know, once you're used to it, I just say now everything that is done slowly. Like if I'm reversing, I go slowly. If I'm going anywhere under trees and that, you go slowly and be aware of the size. And then you won't find it restrictive at all.
And then the other thing that we do also slowly, but you know, I've got a little walkie-talkie so I can talk to Kevin, so I can be right at the back making sure you know, he's not hitting any trees or fences or getting too close to something that could damage the truck. And we actually use that quite often, coming into a campsite and leaving one, just to make sure until we know we're definitely clear of obstacles and stuff like that.
So we don't find it restrictive, you know, and for the restriction that it is, it's for us it's worth it. All right, and then here's the big question. We also found this because we did it. For a lot of you know, and we'll come to that later. We drove from South Africa in our Land Rover all the way up to Scotland, and we were like just the two of us, no one else. And this question here is, how do you find spending so much time together?
Well, actually, to be honest, more women have asked me that than men have asked you.
You mean, how do you put up with me?
How do you spend so much time with your husband 24/7? So
I'm just so easygoing. It's probably quite easy.
Yeah. But I think maybe we're just lucky, but we've worked together for so long in the business. But again, I think we've pretty much complement each other in different roles that we play, so that we do things we're comfortable with and Kevin will pick up the slack or vice versa. And then when you're together, luckily we're both avid readers, hey? Yeah. So wherever we do go anywhere, we actually do read a lot. Yeah. So for me, when I need some quiet time, pretty much get my Kindle and off I go, and just but I don't find it much of an issue, you know. Sometimes we'll have quiet times between us where we don't talk much, and we have our fights, of course, and we have our arguments, especially when Donna doesn't see it the right way, then that's an issue. But she eventually comes round. But we're okay with that. We've been married for how long? 36 years. Wow, well done.
36 years. So, if it was going to end, I think it probably would have ended by now. All right. But
we do, I mean, we still do argue. I always say, any couple that can camp together will pretty much stay together, because if you can get through that setup without killing each other, because the men always seem to have one way.
The right way.
In the direction in your head. There's more than one way to skin a cat, and I'll have it completely different. I'm sure both of them will still work, but of course the men get a bit stressed and argumentative. Yeah. So it's best to just keep quiet and get it done.
But we're not the only ones. We watch people in camp, eh? We watch people setting up camp, and you can see them. I saw a T-shirt that I can't remember what it said. It said something like that. We camp together and we're not divorced or something. Some funny thing anyway. Yeah. All right. So now, okay. Number 11, the ablutions. Okay. So generally we've got the ablutions on the truck, so we don't have to worry about that. So there is a toilet on the truck. There's a basin. There's a separate shower. So that's pretty good. Donna only uses the ablutions. I don't use the ablutions. No, I mean our ablutions on the truck.
In the truck, yes. Yeah.
Generally, like if we at a camp and the ablutions are decent, I will go and I don't mind using the showers and the toilets, you know, in good camp ablutions. But Donna doesn't. She only uses the truck. And when we're in places that that the ablutions are bad, like, you know, some places up in other countries in Southern Africa, you know, you get ablutions that you don't want to use. Yeah. So so the ablutions, that's another good thing about the truck. You know, it does help.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Especially when you're on the road. If you're on the road and you know you need the toilet or something, it's Donna goes to the toilet while I'm driving, so it's not an issue. Okay, this one here, so this one, a lot of people that we meet and are sending us saying that they've heard that we've got a book that we wrote. Yeah, we wrote a book. When we did our trip from Dundee, South Africa, where I was born, to Dundee.
Where is it? Did I get it?
Yeah, to Dundee in Scotland, where Donna was born. We drove from Dundee, South Africa, up to Dundee, Scotland. We drove all the way up through Africa, through Asia, and up into Europe, and it was a great trip. And then when we came back, people asked us, you know, what it was like, and have you got tips and hints and this and this and this. So eventually we started doing a little book, and it turned into a massive book. Yeah, in fact, we actually, it's got 5-star ratings on Amazon, and everyone who's read it really, really likes it. And it's quite a big book. It's 280 mils by 210 mils, and it's like 25 mils thick.
Lots of pictures.
550 photographs and that. So it's a good book and it sells well. So we've got a book out. Just to answer your question, how can you get the book? You can, if you're in South Africa, you can just get hold of us on our social media platforms or on our emails, and we'll courier to you guys. If you're out of the country, you're going to have to get it off Amazon. Amazon sell it, UK, United States, Europe, whatever. Anyway, we're actually in negotiations now. We're talking to the Kruger Park shop people to stock it in the Kruger shop. So you'll probably be able to pick it up in the Kruger shops, hopefully in the near future. But yeah, that's the book. Okay, this one here. So we've just started, a lot of you know that we've just started our YouTube about a month ago. When we entered Kruger, we started our YouTube channel, and we're very basic at it. We don't get it 100%. Some of the music we put on has got copyrights and blah blah blah, but we're trying and we're having fun doing it, and people seem to be having fun watching it. So people are asking us what camera equipment and what editing packages do you use, and to be very honest, we have no camera equipment except our iPhones. So I've got an iPhone, I don't know what it is, an iPhone 13. Donna's just now. This is the first episode with her iPhone 15. So we just use iPhones. That's all we use. We don't have anything major. Actually, at the moment now, the camera is stuck up on a wine box,
Lots of wine,
balancing on a book. So yeah, that's what we use. The editing program or editing system that we use, we just downloaded one off the internet. We just use it to the best of our abilities.
It's an app, isn't it?
It's an app, yeah, sorry, yeah. It's an app. We just downloaded an app off our Apple iStore, whatever it is. Yeah. Apple. And and we use that. So very basic. That's why you get what you get. Number 12 here. Do you only travel in South Africa? No, we love traveling in South Africa. South Africa is our home country. We are South African fans. I love South Africa, despite all our problems and our difficulties. We are South African. We love South Africa. Donna, although she was born in Scotland, has lived here since she was 2 years old, and is South African. Until you hear her talking to her sisters or her parents, or anyone else with an accent, and she switches over to this Scottish accent, which embarrasses her sometimes because she gets caught between a South African accent and a Scottish accent. But Donna is South African, I'm South African. We travel in South Africa, we love South Africa, so we do South Africa. We do the Kruger Park, we do Galagadi, we do the Karoo, we don't
only do South Africa. I mean, we do Botswana, Namibia.
I was going to get there now, So we love South Africa, but we also love traveling to other Southern African countries. Namibia is a gem. We've done Namibia in its entirety. We love it. It's got so much to offer, and it's such a pleasure for overlanders in Namibia. They've got it right. Their ablutions, their campsites are awesome. Botswana as well. Botswana, we travel a lot to. We love Botswana. It's getting pricey. It's getting pricey for South Africans.
It is pricey.
and they've just pushed their prices up again. Same as Kenya, they pushed their prices up. Zambia is also expensive. We've been to all of them. We've been to all the national parks. Yeah, so we travel all over in other countries as well, not just South Africa. We love Mozambique, Zimbabwe, great country.
But there still is a lot to see in South Africa. It's amazing. And especially when you're on the South African rand and on a budget, you can just go to such beautiful places. Eh?
Yeah, there are amazing places in South Africa. There really are, you know. Northern Cape, West Coast, everywhere.
And I actually love going. For me, my travel is, I love going to places I've never been to before, whether it's a different place or a different country, whatever. And so for me, if I can go somewhere that I haven't been before, I'm happy. I remember they had that poster that I just love. I can't remember whose quote it is, but it says there, at least once a year, you should go somewhere that you've never been before. So now that we're lucky enough to have our truck, we actually try and do it at least once a month. Go somewhere we haven't been before.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
So we travel everywhere, and but yeah, we love South Africa. I mean, South Africa's a great place to overland. Yeah. All right. So then, how often are you on the road? Okay, so now that we've retired, we've kept our little place on the south coast in Margate because my son and his wife and his two children, so my granddaughters, live there. So we've got a base there, and we try and spend time there when we can. And then we've got a base up here in Howick where my daughter lives and my other grandchildren lives with her husband. So when we're not on the road, we either down the coast for maybe a week or so, and then we come up to Howick onto the farm for a week or so. We probably, if you take it all in all, we probably, went to Kruger now for 2 months. We came back, went to spend 10 days on the coast, and we're back here for 5 days, and now we're off again. So yeah, when we're not on the road, or how long do you spend on the road? We're going away now, so we've just come back from 2 months. We're heading off for another 5-week trip now down to the Tankwa. So yeah.
If you ask my kids, we travel too much because they lose out on babysitters. And luckily for them, I do miss my grandkids so much. So I'm always harping on it.
Yeah.
Like, it's time to go home. I need to see my grandkids. And my kids, of course. But yeah, I miss my grandkids
Saying that,
so much.
if we didn't have family to come back to come and visit our kids, and that we would be on the road permanently. Let's put it that way. Yeah, we'd probably live in the truck. I hope that answers that question. The capability of the 4x4 truck, and have you ever got stuck, and for how long have you been stuck? Yeah. So this truck is extremely capable as a 4x4. It's exceptionally capable. It's got a solid front axle, if that means anything to any of you. You lock the hubs manually, and then it's got the high range and the low range 4x4. Fantastic. It's very powerful. We have been stuck. We got pretty badly stuck in Gonarizor. I don't know if some of you saw that footage on Facebook a while ago, probably about a year ago. We got stuck there coming out of a river. We got stuck for about 3 hours. But we got out, and then we got stuck again badly up in the salt pans up in Botswana near Nata. We got stuck there for 3 hours as well in those salt pans.
And am I allowed to say, I mean, we got stuck, and the truck is very capable, but can I say that
it's driver error?
No,
look, it's driver
stuck,
error.
And I mean, we're getting better, lack of experience as well. So so the more we do and the more we get stuck, the easier we actually, and the quicker we're able to get out of that position.
Look, you never stop learning with 4x4 guys. I mean, there's some guys that are just 4x4 fanatics, and I mean, they'll probably get out of anywhere. We're not at that level yet, I'm fairly capable, and we are learning. And you know what most 4x4 guys will tell you, most times when you get stuck, driver error. And all the times we've got stuck, it's been driver error. It's 100% been driver error. Going somewhere where I should have maybe checked out before, not lowering the tires low enough, not engaging 4x4 early enough, etc., etc. Yeah, but you know what? It's part of the fun. It doesn't worry me getting stuck. I know we're going to get out sometime. The problem getting stuck with a truck is if you get stuck properly, like properly stuck, and you can't get out, who's going to pull you out? You need someone major to pull you out because you're carrying such a big load. It's a 6-7 ton truck. So it's not like if I get stuck in my Land Rover or or you know, if you get stuck in a cruiser or something, there's always going to be someone to pull you out. But yeah, we've been stuck, and it's part of the fun. We try not to, but yeah, we do. All right, now I think this is the last question, is it? Yeah, that came up. The best park in Southern Africa to get that African feel, and the best park in Southern Africa for game viewing. Here comes someone along our road. Hey guys, how you bud? Are you well? We're just doing a YouTube episode.
So hello.
So say hello to YouTube. We'll check you later. Yeah, so to answer that question, that is a difficult question to answer. The best park in Southern Africa for the Africa feel.
Africa.
Southern Africa.
Southern Africa.
Southern Africa,
Yeah,
yeah.
that is hard.
So look, Kruger National Park in South Africa
Has to be up there.
is an
Definitely.
absolute gem, from the point of view that it's got the right amount of commercialism to being rural as well and rustic. Your fences are camped. Your camps are fenced. So it, you know, takes away that element of safety if you're worried about that. It depends what you're looking for. We love the Kwai area up in the Moremi and the Chobe up in Botswana. We love that area.
It's very wild.
It's wild.
But
there's no fences.
Yeah, there's no fencing. The ablutions are
No, dodgy. Yeah.
but not that affects us at all, but also you know, it's just so difficult because like this trip we've just had in Kruger for 2 months, like you can go there because there's so many places and easy access to food and drink and water, whereas if you go to somewhere like the Kwai, okay, it's very wild, it's amazing. I mean, for me also, that Mogoto camp in the Kwai is one of my favorites.
Amazing.
But you have to take everything, so when your food and drinks finished, it's finished.
Yeah.
You know, then you've got to leave, and it's not easy getting there and getting back to.
Yeah, you know, you have to then sort of, you know, it's a
civilization.
4-hour drive back to Maun if you want to go and stock up, and then 4 hours back to the campsite again. So
With crappy roads.
bad roads.
Jeez,
So you've got to, yeah. So it depends where, what you want and how long you're going for. Yeah, but to name one, I don't think I can. Hey, I think
no,
any
it's
of the ones in Kruger are great.
Also Galagadi is
Galagadi
nice. in that
is magnificent.
You can get that nice mix with the Galagadi Park because you can be in a fenced camp, and then you also can go with the unfenced camps.
Onto the Botswana side, like Rooipats
Yeah.
and Polenswa and that, which is wild as well.
Which is a nice
Yeah.
mix, but the thing with that is that Galagadi landscape is just totally opposite to Kruger.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you still will
Totally.
see beautiful, the lions and the cheetah and everything, but the landscape's totally different, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a completely different experience.
And yeah, it is.
So we enjoy them all. So
But I think we're really lucky. I mean, I think a lot of people, even in South Africa, don't realize how blessed we are to have like the Kruger Park. You know, that's literally why we go so often, because like the value for money.
yeah, we're going to do an episode after this about a recap in Kruger, and what I think we'll do there is we'll compare some of the other parks in the other countries to Kruger, and then people can make their minds up, you know, as to what is best for value for money and the best experience. Yeah, so let's not talk too much about that now, and let's do that on our next episode. So watch out for that episode, that'll come as well. All right, so I think that basically answers all the questions that we've been asked. Hopefully that sort of shed some light on it. At the moment, we're packing for Tankwa. We're heading off tomorrow morning. We'll make an early start at about 6 o'clock. But so we're in the process of packing, and we'll be putting out a YouTube episode with that as well. And then, so the next episodes, the next series that you get, we did our series in Kruger. The next series that you get is going to be our trip through the Tankwa, Karoo, Africa Burn, Cedarburg. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it, and remember the good old subscribe and like. What is it? Subscribe? So no, subscribe, like and subscribe, and send us messages. Yeah, and let's grow this channel. The channel's growing really, really well. We're really chuffed with it. So yeah, let's keep it going. Share it with your friends if they enjoy this sort of stuff, and hopefully we'll chat soon. Anything else, babe?
No, I think that's it. Yeah,
Great.
pretty much.
See you guys soon. Cheers.